quick thing before we get into it. If you're the kind of guy who's always leveling up, sharpening your mindset, your presence, your ability to lead and attract, go ahead and subscribe. This channel's for men who think deeply, move differently, and know there's always another layer of power to master. Hit the like button if you're into this kind of real talk. Drop a comment. I want to hear your take, your wins, even your challenges. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, send it their way. All right, let's get into it. They say women want honesty, vulnerability, and constant communication. That's a lie. If that were true, the nice guy who pours his heart out would win every time. But he doesn't. He gets ghosted, friend-zoned, or worse, used. You want to know the truth? What actually gets under her skin, lives in her head, and makes her crave you like a drug? Is mystery, distance, and power. It's not about being an asshole. It's about becoming a man she can't figure out. A man who holds the frame, who knows his value, who's not afraid to walk away. Let's break it down. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." But here's the part people forget. Chemicals don't react when they're fully exposed. It's the tension that creates combustion. Mystery taps into the primal brain. It creates that tension. When she can't read you completely, when she doesn't know what you're thinking, her brain starts filling in the gaps. She starts projecting. And often she fills in those blanks with desire. This is called the Zeigarnik effect, a psychological principle that states people remember unfinished tasks better than completed ones. Translation: if she feels she hasn't figured you out yet, she won't forget you. Her mind will return to you again and again, unconsciously looping around the mystery. You become an open loop, an itch she can't scratch. That's power. Most men smother the woman they want. They overtext, overcall, overexplain. They're terrified of silence. But here's what you need to understand. Attraction grows in space. French writer Antoine de Saint-Exupéry said, "Love does not consist in gazing at each other, but in looking outward together in the same direction." But to get to that point, you have to first let her look inward, into herself, and wonder, why do I miss him when he's not around? Why does his absence feel so loud? Distance creates value. Scarcity breeds demand. Think about luxury brands. Why do people crave what's hard to get? Because it signals exclusivity, quality, worth. Same thing applies here. When you're not always available, when you leave gaps in your presence, she starts to chase. She starts to earn you. But here's the twist. This only works when your distance feels deliberate, not accidental. It must feel chosen, not circumstantial. Don't disappear because you're weak. Disengage because you're focused elsewhere, because you have a purpose. That's the key. Let's be clear. Power isn't about dominance over her. It's about dominance over yourself. Robert Greene writes in the 48 Laws of Power, "Always be elusive. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Power is the ability to stay grounded when everything around you is trying to pull you off center. It's knowing your worth, not explaining yourself, not overreacting, not chasing. It's having a strong frame. In psychology, a frame is the mental structure you use to give meaning to something. In relationships, whoever holds the frame sets the emotional tone. Most men let women control the frame. She flirts, he melts. She pulls away, he panics. She questions his motives, he defends. That's not power, that's submission with a smile. You want her hooked? You set the frame from day one. You lead. You don't explain. You don't chase. You remain calm even when she tests you, especially when she tests you confidingly, because here's a secret. Her tests aren't problems, they're proof of interest. A woman only tests the man she sees potential in. She wants to feel your power, not through words, but through your unshakable presence.
Let me give you two examples. Let's start with James Bond.
This guy never over-explains, never rushes. He leads with mystery. He knows when to vanish. Women fall for him because they sense there's more beneath the surface. A second example will be Napoleon Bonaparte, one of the most powerful men in history. He mastered presence and absence. He wrote passionate letters to Josephine, then disappeared into war. She was obsessed. Even modern studies confirm this. A 2011 study from the University of Virginia and Harvard found that women were more attracted to men when they were unsure of how much the man liked them, versus when they were told directly. Uncertainty equals obsession. But let me be clear. This isn't about being a ghost or a game player. It's about calibrated presence. You show up strongly, then you retreat strategically. It's a rhythm. Presence, absence, warmth, distance, dominance, and patience. Always leave them craving you and wanting more. It's basic economics. Now you might ask, but won't this make me a cold, manipulative jerk? No, because the intent behind it isn't cruelty, it's clarity. You are not here to play the clown, beg for approval, or dance to her tune. You are here to build something real, and real requires respect. Mystery gets you attention. Distance creates desire. Power earns respect. But if you don't balance these with emotional depth, you'll become empty, a shadow, a narcissist playing a role. So here's the key. Be mysterious, not fake. Be distant, not cold. Be powerful, not controlling. And when the time is right, drop the armor. Show her your vision, your darkness, your depth. Not because you need to, but because you choose to. That's irresistible. You don't have to be rich, tall, or famous to get under her skin. But you do have to become rare. Rare in your restraint, in your energy, in your understanding of power. Most men are loud, emotional, desperate. But you move different. Remember, you are the prize. You are the question she can't answer, the page she keeps rereading, and the ending she is constantly wondering about. So if you're ready to stop chasing and start pulling, subscribe now. Because on this channel, we don't teach tricks, we teach truth. This is Covenant of Power. See you in the next one.